bring back the light task in Harbor, Quebec. Hello everybody and welcome to another special episode of SnowRunner here at Overfed Gaming. You're listening to the Overfed. Today we are in the Bring Back the Light task, which is part of the Northern Trails Travel Company contract, where we pick up a Service Scout trailer and we gotta deliver it to the Lighthouse. Now, I was out doing some scouting in the Ford 750 when I got a call saying that there was a Service Scout trailer around here, and obviously we found it. We had a little bit of trouble hooking up to it. Turned the wheels the wrong way, but we will get it eventually, and we're going to try and deliver that to the Lighthouse in just on the other side of Everton, which is not too far away. Now first we got to get hooked up to it, and then we're going to just go back out the way we came in. Now it's a little bit of a four-wheeling effort through here, so you just got to kind of bite the bullet and go back through the bad area that we came through. First we got to climb down this little hill, and then whoa, that trailer is not very big and he's going to bounce a little bit. We're going to try and take it extra slow today so that we don't have to have that trailer flying all over the place, and we don't have to take any damage on the Ford, because sometimes when you're driving through some of these rocky areas, he takes a little bit of damage, and we don't want to do that if we can help it. Now the trail that we're following, or track, is pretty straightforward. You can see it right in front of you. There's a few pitfalls where you gotta just kind of watch out which way you go over the ice. Like right over here, the best thing to do is not to go over the ice at all, except for here, of course, where you have to, but then stay up on the side there. Now we got to end up, you can see the tracks on the left hand side of that rocky area, but you don't want to go through the middle, because on the opposite end there is a really bad pit. So go around the rocks, go around this, and it'll make your life a lot better than if you would have tried to cut through on the left hand side right there. I tried it and it was not a very good time. Anyhow, here we just got to kind of switch back and forth until we get to the bottom, and you just kind of try to avoid the biggest boulders is that's what I do, until you get down here, and then you got to take a tight right just to try and get back up to the main highway, which is just up ahead. It's not too far away. Now we've got a little bit of a muddy area. We don't have a lot of weight. That trailer is pretty light, and you know, I might have been able to just come in there with a Plaid or the Avonhorn and picked it up with a crane and put it on the back. But anyhow, I was out scouting with the Ford, and they asked me to come out here and take a look, and I did, and it's not going to be too much of an issue, I think. We just get a little bit of a climb over by the Lighthouse, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. And now some of these here mud holes like this one here, it doesn't really matter where you go through it, because you can't miss any of it. So you're going to have to kind of bite the bullet, and if I'm not sure, I always try to stay close to the side where there's a tree. At least that way, if you do get stuck, you can winch yourself back out. But we're up at the main highway here. Well, it's a side highway, and this side highway will take you right straight up to the main highway, which is a main artery that runs all the way through the map. So once we get to that one, we'll hang a left and we'll head off towards Everton. Now remember, when you're on a highway that's got no snow on it, consider it an ice road. Now we've got chains on this particular vehicle, but there are a few vehicles in the game that have no chains, and they're usually okay on ice roads until you start to climb. If you have any kind of a little bit of an incline and you start to spin out. But if that happens and you're using a vehicle like, say, the Kenworth that doesn't have any chains, or the Caterpillar, just drive on the side of the road so you can have one set of tires in the snow, and that way you'll get a little bit of traction. Anyhow, for us today, that's not going to be an issue. We've got chains on the dualies on the back, and we've even got chains on the front. So we're just going to take our time, especially when you're going downhill. You know, even if you don't have any heavy cargo on the trailer or on the back of the vehicle, if you're going downhill and it's an ice road, you can still slide even without the extra weight, so be careful. A couple of little snow drifts like this isn't going to stop the Ford. This is the easy part of the trip. The harder part's still coming. And then around the corner here, we're going to be heading off into the, I believe it's the north end of Everton. As you can see, the drop-off location box has already appeared on the screen, meaning the lighthouse is close by. But before we get there, we're going to stop off, because you know what kind of a stickler the OPAFET is for making sure you got lots of fuel. We got 140 liters, we're down to 82. Now we do have lots of spare fuel, but it is a Scout, and he likes to help out a lot of different vehicles. So he needs the extra fuel in case we need it for somebody else who got stuck because they ran out. Now we're just going to go down the main drag of Everton here, and as you can see, the lighthouse is up on the screen as well. That's where we got to go. But we can't go straight up this side of the mountain. We're going to have to go around to the left and come in from behind, where there's a passageway. It's in a little bit of a climbing area, and then we'll eventually be up at the lighthouse and deliver the Service Scout trailer. Now there's one bridge in Quebec on both maps that never got repaired and won't get repaired. Now if you know that right from the beginning, you won't worry about searching for the task that will fix it, and that you'll be one day be able to drive over that bridge from one side to the other. But if you think that, then you'd be thinking wrong. And that bridge is right there in front of us. That one never gets repaired. So whatever detour you take to go from one side to the other, remember, that's the one you gotta, well, you don't have to keep taking it. You can find new ones, but we'll never be able to use the bridge. As we turn off here, we're going to take another turn here and climb through a little rocky area that's not really too difficult. A little bit of muddy areas, a little bit of rocks, a little bit of ice, a little bit of snow. But the Ford keeps on chugging along. Now when you get to the little watery ice area just up ahead, I always like to stay to the right hand side. On this particular one, it's a little bit more solid, as you'll be able to see. Just come right to about those three little pines there, and then you just kind of turn to the left. You can see where the ice is a little bit more solid, and then back to the right again, and then to the end, and then we're just going to climb out of there. And if you look straight ahead, that's where we got to go. We got to climb straight ahead up that little hill. It's the only way to get up to the lighthouse. Now we've been up there a few times, but with different vehicles, never with the Ford, and we're going to see how difficult it is with the Ford. Well, he seems to be doing okay. Absolutely fantastic. Well, looks like we're going to have another successful delivery. You really enjoyed this one. I hope you liked the video, and until the next time, we've been bringing back the light at the lighthouse in Everton in our Ford F-750, delivering the Service Scout trailer with me as your driver, the OPAFET.